Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to use Claude's Cowork to take a folder of messy financial files, invoices, bank statements, payroll, and turn it into something actually usable. We're talking a clean, organized filing system with real naming convention and a dashboard that shows you your revenue, profit, and expenses at a glance. And we'll even pull that data into an Excel file so you can dig into the trends by product line, month over month. The best part, we're going to set up automation so this whole thing keeps itself updated every single day. I'll walk you through exactly how I prompted Cowork to do all of this step by step so you can take the same approach and apply it to your own files. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to look at Puppies and More Co., a hypothetical company that sells leashes, dog treats, and collars. And our goal is to build a financial dashboard and file with task automations for a small business in under 15 minutes with AI, and all in a manner that's flexible and replicable. So let's just get into it. We're going to look at the current state of things. This business owner has been storing everything in one folder, over time becoming built up with vendor invoices, electric bills, rent, revenue exports without a real naming standard. It's genuinely unclear what half of these files even are. And if we go and just dig around, you can see there's just inconsistent naming convention with different file types. If we go and just maybe open this receipt here, looks like this is a a rent payment for April 2025 for $18.50. It's good to know. Let's go in and open another file, see what's going on in this folder. This is a payroll register. Looks like there's pretty good data, an employee record, their role, the weeks, so pay dates with gross pay, as well as fringe payments. I'm basically doing what a human would do here, so opening files one by one to figure out what they are. But there are over 175 files in this folder, so doing this manually would take hours. I'm gonna open this Etsy statement, and it looks like we have some pretty good data by item, sales, and breakdown by dates. So it's pretty good data, but we have to take this times 24 months of files, turn it into something useful. So the problem is clear. There's no filing standard, and the folders are messy. There's no consolidated view anywhere. So as a finance person, what I'm always thinking about is how to get everything into one place quickly. And that's where Cowork comes in. So let's get into how we'll organize this using AI and Claude. So let's head over into our Claude space. We're in Claude desktop. I'm going to go over to my Cowork space. Before I begin prompting, let's just preview the different toggles here. So we can select the project that we want to work in, which is a folder that we connect to, as well as the model type that we would like to use. When I select this down arrow and work in a project, I can see all the different folders in my document space and library that I've connected to prior. These are all local. So if I hit choose a folder, I can go in and on my local desktop, identify that Puppies and More Co folder that we had looked through earlier. And it's just going to let me know that I'm selected into that folder with this little blue check mark here. I'm also going to go with Opus 4.8 as my model, which is better for higher thinking and complex tasks. So let's get into the actual prompting. So first, we're going to have Cowork analyze every file connected to this folder. What it's essentially doing here is what we were doing manually, but faster. So it's opening every file, reads the content, figures out what each one is telling us, the date, the vendor, the document type, etc. And based on that, it's going to propose a financial organization system for the business. This is a good way to ensure that Claude is the builder and you are the organization person, or you're the reviewer in this scenario. We're also going to add in our own preferences here as just a way to set some guardrails for Claude's proposal. And you'll see this is going to speed up as I kind of burn through all of the preferences that I have. But essentially what I'm asking Claude to do is organize everything chronologically and then set very specific file naming conventions for the type of document. By the way, I pasted all of the prompts in the description below, so take those and edit them as you need. So in summary, Claude is going to analyze and then propose, and we are going to set our preferences. Now let's get into the execution prompts, which brings us to meta prompting, which is a way to use AI to build prompts for AI. You set the goals and the guardrails and let Claude fill in the details. I like this approach because AI is often better at talking to itself than we are. Instead of writing 4 separate execution prompts myself, I'm going to ask Claude to write those prompts for Claude. Heading back over to our Claude workspace, let's go and request what we want to see in the output, including our execution prompts. We're going to ask for a summary of what Claude found, including number of files, file types, etc., proposed naming structure, proposed folder structure, any files that it's unsure about and why, as well as the 4 execution prompts. So the framework creation, file organization, dashboard build, and intake automation. And I'm going to add in my own preferences for the dashboard, including an annual analysis of the revenue and expense, and some insights, store versus online sales plus unit costs. Finally, we're telling it not to move or rename anything yet. Let's review the output first, then approve it, treating AI like a high-level analyst. So let's go ahead and just run this and see how the result looks. This takes a bit of time to work through everything, but pretty quickly it comes back with the full proposal. It's gonna spit out everything, and if we go up here, looks like it identified 176 files spanning a couple of years, breaks down into different categories, which is really cool, with notes on everything just so that we're cool. It's got misfilings that it's identified, proposed folder structure broken down in the manner that we asked it to, by year, by quarter, by category, and it also has a proposed naming convention. So what Claude basically did here was, again, opened every single file, understood what that file was, and named it appropriately with dates, the type of vendor and or category it belonged to. It also identified files it's not sure about, and it has our 4 execution prompts: the framework creation, file organization, dashboard build, and intake automation, which is what it's going to run on our behalf. So let's just go ahead and ask Claude to run it. It took a while to run, and I stepped away to do some chores while this was going, but at one point it actually stopped and asked for permission before deleting anything. It's not deleting, it's just moving files around, but wanted explicit confirmation first. You don't have to babysit it, which is honestly one of the nice things. It's going to ask us to schedule the task too. Overall, I sped this video up, but I think it took around 30 minutes to run in total. And again, I just stepped away, but let's take a look at the results. So we're going to navigate to our Puppies and More folder. Everything is now sorted into the system we asked Claude to build. The categories are clear. Naming convention looks good. I'm going to go and peek around. Looks like we have our overhead, Winston Electric, very cool. Different rent invoices, vendor invoices look good with different vendor names and dates, as well as the invoice number themselves. We also have our revenue report in here. I also created a move log with the original file path, new path for each document, and I didn't ask for this, so Cowork added it on its own. And this is genuinely useful for traceability. See everything that moved. Go and open the dashboard. Cowork built this directly from the consolidated data. So at the top, you've got filtering. You can slice by year, product line. And below that, you have revenues versus expenses, your expense mix by month, net profit and loss by month. Unit cost trends, material cost by product line as well. You get to see an online versus in-store breakdown, scorecards up at the top, summarizing annual revenue and expenses as well. One thing that I'm starting to notice here, the product line filter wasn't actually updating the charts. While we have our results and they look pretty good, this is a good opportunity to revise So when something's off, that's an opportunity to get specific and have Claude review its own output. And the key is specificity, so building on top of what's already there instead of starting over. I'm going to go back into our Claude module here. Instead of asking it to start over, I'm going to ask Claude specifically to fix the year product line and online and in-store slicers to update the charts. Let's also test out the scheduling. So I'm going to ask it to create some mock files and put them into the folder, and let's run it. So here we have the 4 mock files that I created. When I navigate to my folder, there you go, there's those 4 files. I'm gonna go over into my scheduled task pane over here under Cowork, select the finance and intake filter, and run it. And you'll see that it's scheduled to run tomorrow at 7 a.m. You can revise that in the little crayon in the corner. It's telling us that all the files were sorted accordingly, and it looks like when we go back that it looks okay. Let's also check on the dashboard again. We'll filter through these slicers here. And it looks like they're working, so we can toggle through between online and in-store revenue and watch the whole view update. So again, continue to work with the dashboard to refine it. Looks like monthly revenue by product line is an estimate here. If you look over at the little top of the chart, so I think we need to add more rigor and specificity. I'm gonna prompt one more time. Let's have Cowork build an Excel file with a full breakdown by product line, so we can actually dig into the underlying data and see what Claude is seeing. So I'm gonna ask Claude to build that Excel file with dates, product line, channel, anything that can take from our Etsy and Square statements in the folder. We're gonna run that. It looks like it quickly produced an Excel file here that's in our folder, and I'm just gonna open that up. We get a full breakdown, goals, leashes, treats, number of transactions. We get a full table with every single transaction listed. Also very helpful if you just want to work with the raw data and understand what's happening. You have a chart here which has the revenue by product line by year, as well as the mix. You have the monthly revenue by product line view, so you can see trends over time. Looks like there's some seasonality in there. Lastly, you just have the different channels, platforms, and the revenues. So, what did we cover? We took a set of messy financials for a hypothetical small business and used Cowork to fully organize it. We introduced meta prompting. We showed Claude how to build interactive dashboards and Excel files from multiple sources and file formats. We built in automation via task scheduling. Hopefully, this was useful for you guys. I'd love for you to find your own use cases for this. And if you did, please hit subscribe. And as always, thank your AI and happy prompting. I'll see you in the next one.